Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about beauty creations. I purchased two of these mini snap palettes as well as one of the liquid blushes. So let's try all of this on myself. And if you want to see how I did this look and if I like the products or if I don't, then just keep on watching. Listen, I talked about this before. I wanted to try beauty creations and I wanted to have like these snap palettes, and I ordered two of them. I ordered these from the Netherlands, which is Boozyshop. If you ask yourself, they have normally the newest stuff and also brands we don't own here. So I'm quite excited about this. I ordered two palettes as well as a blush. I ordered, let me see, these are the Duet palettes and I got two, and I will show you the trick where you can get these together. I felt this is kind of cool. This is the Peachy Dreams one, which we do have a little like what it is and then the picture of this. This is not how the palette looks. I'm not sure, I think at least for me, this is not how the palette looks. This looks way more pink than it is in real life. And you just open these. These are quite small, I would say. And then you have the palette and you do have a mirror. You can open it just like this, probably because we can snap these together. So it's not like interfering, but there is a full mirror, which again I did cover up. And then we do have 8 shades. Some of them are matte, some of them are shimmery. I think in both palettes we do have 5 matte shades, and this is again Peachy Dreams. And then I also ordered, again, these are the two I wanted to have, and I ordered this one is Modern Greens, which this palette looks purple. I mean, does it matter? No, it does not. But it's like, listen, this is not, I was like looking at that and I was like, oh my god, did I order the false ones? Like, this is not the palette itself. This is Modern Greens, and lucky for me, this is again having a full on mirror. And then we do have 8 shades, and I think, yes, 3 are shimmers, the rest 5 are mattes. So this is the other palette. Both of these palettes can be attached together. You can do this with all of these, just saying. They have like little hinges, as you can tell here and there, and then you just snap these together. And now you do have one palette that you can open like from 2 sides. So you have both palettes in here. See, and so this is how it looks like. I do have to say, it's a little bit annoying. I mean, I did this look with the palette, and it's a little bit annoying if they are not snapped right together. This is like a little bit, I wanted to open the other one. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit, you have to really go in with your nail to open the palette itself. I do, though, think the idea, again, is not new. Fenty does it before, and I'm pretty sure Fenty was also not the first to invent this, probably. I don't know. But again, you have then a mirror for both of these sides. And I think that this is an amazing idea because I feel like you can add in maybe the green. By the way, if you do this, you can't tell which side is which because they are identical. And they don't have, at least as fine, just beauty creations here. So you can't tell which side is which. So you do need to open this. I feel like you can like add the green side, for example, and then add in maybe a brown palette. So you have like your brown neutrals or your brown staples, and then you have a little bit of a fun side. Again, we do have also like pinky mauves. I think there's a purple as well, if I'm not mistaken. And again, the Peachy Dreams ones, again, sometimes it's like not as easy to open. The Peachy one, you could, I thought about like adding this one and then a brown palette together. So I have like my staples and I can add in some warmth if I wanted to. That would be also quite nice. And then I also ordered a blush because I was just curious. And this is the liquid blush in Poppy Peach. Almost, we will see all of these in action. I will use for my look both of the palettes as well as the blush. So you will see that in the tutorial part of this video. Let me talk about the palettes itself. First of all, let me start with Peachy Dreams. I think if I ordered Peachy Dreams alone, I would be disappointed. And now hear me out. I feel like this palette itself is quite light. We do have a brown, which is mid. These two shades, this and this, look quite similar. There are differences. I hope I did show you the swatches, and they are different, but there are this. Listen, I don't think you will see this if you like use it on your eyes. I don't think you can see a distinct difference between this one and this one. I mean, you see a difference, of course, but I don't think that you see it on the lids. I do enjoy that we have this like warmer peach shade, this yellowy shade. I do enjoy this, as well as this warm brown. I do enjoy all of this. I wished though that there would be one fun poppy shade in here. You know what I mean? This is a peach palette. I wish that there would be like a mid-tone, like this depth, maybe like poppy peach shade, or something really, really like popping. Maybe instead of one of these. Just saying. That would be nice. This one I have on my lid right now. It is super pretty. This is this like coppery shade. I feel like the shimmers from experience work quite well with your fingers and only your fingers. I felt like using a brush, I couldn't get the result I liked. I feel in general the formula of these palettes is a little bit thinner. The mattes are really, really nicely and pigmented. They blend really well. Just saying, like this look, again, the mattes. Can't tell you that I don't enjoy this, just saying. But I feel like the shimmers are a little bit sheer, as well as work best with your finger and just with your finger. Again, I've tried my normal thing where I used a brush and then spritzed the brush, and it did not work well. Just saying. At least not for the shimmers on my lid. For the green here, it does, but for the other not. I feel like this one, again, the shimmers are quite nice. You know what I mean? If I just would have ordered this one alone, I would be disappointed. And now let's come to the modern greens. I really enjoyed this side though. We do have a great variety in shades. I don't feel we have like doubles. These two are quite distinct different, which I do enjoy. This one is really, really dark brown, which I have on my outer lid or my outer crease. This one is really nice. I would say mid to darker green. We do have this one, which is a really, really light shade that you can use all over the lid. And then again, these two greens are also distinct different. I like that we do have a bright green in here. This one is more of a goldy green, your typical one. And this one, to be honest, this one is kind of a neutral like shimmer. I really enjoyed the color, to be honest though. I mean, yes, it could work with the green, so you have like a more neutral leaning look. I really enjoyed this one. I feel like together with the peach palette, I feel like I could have a good variety, because we do have the like darker shade from this palette, like this dark brown. This is a cool tone brown. I just warmed it up with the warm brown here, with this one and with this one, and it worked amazingly. You know what I mean? So I feel like both of these palettes work amazingly together. And of course you can use the greens as a base and then like blend this out with the like this yellowy orangey shade, or even with this one. So they work quite well together. Would I have been disappointed in the green palette? No, because we do have a great variety in shades, and I don't feel like they are like too boring, if you will, or too close to another. At least not really. Again, this one, you could be miffy about that and say, oh well, these are still a little bit close, but I feel like in general I think you can see a distinct difference between the two. Also, again, for this, the same goes with the shimmers. I feel like the shimmers work best with your fingers and not with a brush, except for, again, the green I have on my lower lash line. That worked quite well. But I also felt like this one is a little bit more putty than the other two, so that could be that. For the liquid blush, it's a beautiful blush. I would say it's medium pigmented. It is not as pigmented as Rare Beauty, so you can use a good amount. It does not disrupt the foundation, has a great pigmentation. I really enjoyed this one. And again, for the palettes, I think if you have one or two color stories you really enjoy, I think this is a decent formula. Is this my favorite formula? Nope. Is this a great formula for travel? Yes. I feel like if I would pick any like neutral palette and maybe the peach, so I have like something to warm it up, or also say, oh well, I do have green things, I can go with the green palette. I really would enjoy these. And again, they're quite decently sized. It's not too much. Let's show you in my big hands. I feel like this is a great size to travel. Also, this is plastic case, so I am positively surprised. Again, not my favorite formula, but also it is quite affordable, and I feel like this is a better quality than Catrice and Essence in some cases. Not all, but some. So I really enjoy these, and I would recommend them if you are like, maybe not an indie brand connoisseur, just saying, but if you're like, listen, I just need a little bit of something. I want to travel. I want to have like 2 palettes, and they shouldn't be too like big. I want to use just a little bit of the basic, maybe something fun. I think these palettes are coming in handy, and I really enjoy them. Just saying. Good. Now let's come to the tutorial parts. If you want to see how I did this look, which colors I used, I will show you, and how the blush performed in the video, I will show you now. Before we come to the eyeshadows, I just clipped them together. We also have a blush to try, and this one is the liquid blush in Poppy Peach, which, I mean, do we really have to think about? Of course I use this one. It's the corally shade I like. So yeah, let's try this and see if this is good. Again, the packaging is super damn cute. You can definitely see what it is. It is Peachy Creation, as you already know. And this is the applicator. Looks quite nice. We will do it like I like to do it. Put it on my hand and go from there. I feel like this will fit in the whole thing. Or at least I'm hoping for it. This one, again, is the color. It is a really, really pretty color. Like, this is a more muted, peachy, corally shade, I would say. I really enjoy the color. Let's see how pigmented this is. It definitely seemed to be more on the pigmented side. Like, if you, like, look at this. We would just use a little bit on the brush. And let's see how this is translating on my face. I did powder a little bit. But this looks like, look at this. Isn't that stunning? Ooh, I really, really enjoy this color. Like, look at this. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. As you can tell, it's not as, I would say it's not as pigmented as the Rare Beauty ones. I'm just using a little, because again, I used quite a bit of product, and I feel like this is a beautiful amount, if you ask me. So we'll go in again with a more dense flat brush, if you will. This is looking stunning. It is definitely true to its color. It's not like super sheer. I would say this is a great beginner liquid blush, if you ask me, because it is pigmented, but it's not too pigmented. I feel like this one would be probably pretty with a beauty blender as well. Like, look at this. I do think this is looking amazing. So I really, really enjoyed this one. And also it did not disrupt the foundation, as far as I can tell. I scooched you in a little bit closer. Because we do have 2 palettes, I do switch for both sides. I do enjoy the technicality. We do have the more peach color scheme, which has a brown, a deeper one. It's not deep enough for my liking, to be honest. I do want to add in though this shade as well, because listen, why not? And then we do have this color scheme, which is more of a like greenish color scheme with, I hope that this is a deep brown and not a deep green, because this one is a deep green. So I want to start with this color and a smaller brush. So let's do this. Also, please remember, this is the first time trying Beauty Creation, so I'm not 100% sure how pigmented this is, how blendable these are. I will use my Morphe M506, and again, I think these shades have names, but listen, I will not switch these again just to know what color name this is. This is the deep, again, brownish kind of a shade. This is looking really good. Like, look at this. Really, really nicely pigmented. I really enjoy that. It is more of a, I would say, cool tone brown, which again fits quite nicely to the greens. I do want to use though It's the only thing, like sometimes you need to like see. I do want to use this brown, like this mid brown, as a transition to this like light peachy yellow. So we were doing that. I'll use a little bit of this. This is my Singe EO2. Just using a little bit to blend out the like brown tone to make it a little bit warmer. You can tell that worked quite well. These are a little bit powdery, but nothing that would like turn me away. I don't have anything against a little bit of powderiness, at least that as far that the pigmentation is right and everything else, like the blendability is right. I don't care if they are powdery or not. That worked, by the way, really, really nicely. Like, look at this. These colors move together so nicely. Look, and now we do have a way warmer brown. To now push this more like peachy orangey shade, this one here. This one is the Zoeva 231, and I'm just picking up a little bit of the color. You could go, by the way, in a way more like neutral direction. I do think these ones are quite similar. Do you need to see if these are like also similar when I swatch these? And just blend out this with the peachy orange shade, just to give it a little bit more warmth, also to tie in, because listen, I didn't like dress in that color to not like get that color, you know what I mean, on my eyes. I will bring that in quite further. We do have again a way more peachy color here as well, peachy pink. I will go into quite far in the inner corner with that shade again to just give it a little bit more. Like, look at this, isn't that cute? You could go into like, I think like in this palette we don't have like a really, really light shade. Again, these two seem similar. We do have this shimmer shade, and in the other palette, we do have this shade. So we will use this shade all over the lid. This is just a flat brush. This one is from She Glam, so I don't know the number. Let me smooth out the eye primer in between. I needed to, listen, I needed to cuddle the cats in between because they were like crazy and wouldn't let me film that. Look at this. This is such a pretty look. Also, this shade is definitely light enough for my inner corner. In the other palette though, we did not have like a really, really light shade. Just have that in mind. And we will of course use a little bit of the shimmers as well. But so far, this is really nice. I will also use a little bit of that shade on my lower lash line, just to blend in with the orange. Like, look at this. This is really, really nice. Here in that area, we do have a little bit of blending to do, but to be honest, I do want to add like a shimmer or two, so we're just ignoring that and put it on top of shimmer. So we do have a bunch of, like, look at these. These are really, really pretty. Seem to be, though, all quite similar-ish, I would say. And again, these ones are the worst swatches, guys, really. I feel like I want to use this shade here, which I did not swatch, by the way. Let me swatch that on top of the other. Ooh, look at this. I feel like this one would fit perfectly in the for the look, and then we can like use this one like a little bit further into the look. I did use a little bit of setting spray. This is the Singe EO1, and we will just like place that here. Okay, this is one of those shades that probably works best with your fingers. Definitely can build it though, which there is kind of nice. To be honest, the shimmers seem to be less creamy than I like, but to be honest, that could also like be good for oily eyelids. I do have oily eyelids. Let me, like, look at this. If you swatch it, it looks really, really pretty. Let me, yeah, that is, like, look at this. That is so pretty. But again, that needed to be used with my finger. I'll just use that brush to blend a little bit of the deep brown with that shade. I feel like these palettes look really, really good together. To be honest, to go further into my eye look, I do want to use this one. This one is a little bit more of a neutral leaning like shade. Like this one. This one is, as you can tell, goldy green, and I feel like for this look in particular, I do want to add this shade. And again, we will just use my fingers. I feel like these work best with your fingers. And if you don't have, listen, if you don't have like long nails, at the moment I'm quite like mid length with my nails, but look at this. That is kind of pretty. I felt like this, let's try. I feel like, listen, look at this. I think like these pick up really not so good with a brush, which I don't feel that these like work great with a setting spray or a brush. Again, I felt like these work way better with your fingers. Technically, you could leave it like this. You could just put on some lashes, do mascara. I do want to add though this shimmer green in the lower lash line, and I'm trying, this is the Zeesea 238. This is a really, really small brush, and we'll see about like picking that up. Again, this one seemed to be like a little bit more putty. I'm trying to not use my setting spray here and trying to just pick up color and then just like lacing that on my eye. I do need to pick up a little bit more. I had to pick up another setting spray, to be honest, because I was using the Revolution Superfix misting spray. That did not work quite well, but I used the Bouncy Plump Hydrating Dewy Spray by Essence, and that one worked quite well. You can see it has a really nice shine. Like, look at this. Isn't that cute? Really enjoyed that. I will continue and finish the look, and we'll be right back. So this is the finished look. I added some liner. This is the white one by Catrice. I added also the lashes, the purple ones by Essence. And just to make sure about all of this, I also used Kylie Stone. This is by Kylie Cosmetics, again, Stone. You already know. And then I also applied the Lacquer lip tint, and this is in the shade 108, which I totally don't know. It was in a bundle with like the autumn bundle, so this is just a travel size, but I really, really enjoyed this color, and I feel like it fits quite nicely together. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you want to see other palettes from the brand or other products from the brand, I'm quite new to beauty creations, tell me down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you want to see more tutorials with the palette, maybe other colors, write it down in the comments as well. I would love to give you a little bit more of that. I wish you a beautiful week, and we see us in my next video. So bye guys.